and that's why I love the Stasis Titan. Good morning, good afternoon, and good day everybody, David here. And in today's video, I'm sort of going to split it into two sections. First section is just going to be my thoughts on the new Behemoth class that has come with Beyond Light, is the Titan Stasis class. And the second part, I'm going to be showing you guys a crazy ability based build that I've been using and been enjoying very much. So let's just jump straight in. My thoughts on the Stasis Titan is that I absolutely love it. I'm just absolutely in love with the melee, being able to use that as a way to either close gaps, get out of sticky situations, or even just decking someone and sending them flying off the map. There's so many ways of using that melee. I also love the glacial grenades. This is obviously across all three of these status classes, but it works really well with the Titan, being able to freeze people, but also block lines of sight, also using it as a movement ability by placing it under your feet. Like, the possibilities are just endless. The fragments and aspects that the Titan has access to as well really synergize well with his abilities. The extended slide is great. The sliding through crystals or frozen enemies, shattering them, is so much fun. All the Stasis subclasses have really solid neutral game, and the Titan has a incredible super as well. The outplay potential with the Titan super and his abilities are just great. You can see here when I'm stuck getting attacked by their entire team, I use my barricade to block, then use the grenade and the melee to just get out of there, keeping my spree alive. Like, the skill gap for this Titan is just awesome, and I hope they bring these sort of things to the older subclasses. Now, let's just move on to my favourite build that I've been using recently. As I said earlier, the build evolves around utilising your abilities for every engagement. Stasis abilities regen slower than the light-based subclasses, so this build utilises several ways to get around that slower cooldown. My build uses 60 plus discipline and strength with just a 30 plus resilience for my class ability cooldown. I use the high energy fire perk for the damage boost to my weapons, as well as a momentum transfer mod on my gauntlets. Pausing grenade damage gives me melee energy back. The exotic of choice is the Heart of Inmost Light. So the exotic perk for this armour states, using an ability, grenade, melee or barricade, empowers the other two abilities. Empowered means abilities have faster regen, melees and grenades do more damage, and barricades have more hit points. So we're using this mainly for the faster cooldown. So on my boots I use the Radiant Light mod, which gives me a plus 20 to strength. And then on my class item, I use the Charge Harvester mod, which is how we become charged with light for the high energy fire mod. And I also use the Perpetuation, which reduces barricade energy when using my barricade. So obviously we're combining this with the Stasis subclass and using the Shiver Strike melee with the glacial grenades. This can work with any of the grenades, but I find it works really well with the glacial grenades in particular. We've got the Tectonic Harvest aspect. Shattering crystals makes shards, which picking up those shards gives you melee energy. And Cryoclasm, longer slides and sliding into crystals or frozen enemies shatters them. Combine this with the Whisper of Hedrons for the weapon damage boost after freezing enemies. Also the Whisper of Fissures, which increases the damage of shattering crystals, and the Whisper of Shards, which states shattering crystals boosts grenade recharge rate. This is a really important perk for this build. Whisper of Refraction is also really good for getting your class ability back faster, but I felt I didn't need it and actually preferred just the extra damage fragments. So the basic idea of the build is to throw your grenade, which starts the empowered cooldown from the Heart of Inmost Light exotic. You use your melee or slide into the crystals to shatter them, causing the grenade faster recharge fragment to kick in. And you can see that on the edge of the screen where it says improved ability regen. This also makes the shards that you can pick up for your faster melee charge. And you can see that you get your melee back instantly, and the grenade is past halfway already. You can then use your barricade to proc empowered again, which charges the rest of your grenade back super quick. So this unto itself is pretty good, but it can get way better. So I bind it with the Traveler's Chosen, which is a exotic sidearm, and the perk for this states that final blows with this weapon grants stacks of Gathering Light. Consume these stacks to grant ability energy back, and the more stacks that you have, the more energy you get back. So this goes hand in hand with pretty much any ability build in the game. But good news is, if you don't have the Traveler's Chosen, or if you just want to use a different exotic weapon, you can now get a perk called Wellspring, which is new to some of the legendary weapons this season. So this perk generates ability energy from kills as well. It's just not as easy or consistent as the Traveler's Chosen, so I prefer the sidearm. You can find this on the Hailing Confusion Pulse Rifle, which you can farm from barracks. It's also on a few other legendary weapons that have come with Beyond Light. If you do have the Traveler's Chosen, you don't even need to use the Heart of Inmost Light with this build. So if you do prefer using something like the One-Eyed Mask, this build still works. You can see that after getting Gathering Light ×3, which you get from just getting one kill in the Crucible with the sidearm, you can throw your grenade, shatter the crystals making the shards for your melee recharge, you get your faster grenade recharge, and then you consume the Gathering Light buff for instant ability recharge. It's insane. You can see it there, I just get them back straight away. And if that's still not crazy enough for you, you can then combine this with the Heart of Inmost Light. So you can get your 3 kills in PVE, or the 1 kill in the Crucible, which gives you your Gathering Light ×3 buff. You throw your grenade for your empowered buff, shatter it for your faster grenade recharge and your melee shards. You then consume the Gathering Light buff for instant energy back. But even better is if you manage to get empowered ×2, which you get by grenading someone and then meleeing someone, which can just be a normal melee. It doesn't have to be your ability melee. After shattering the crystals, the empowered ×2 buff and the grenade cooldown buff stack, causing just crazy fast cooldowns even without getting a kill with the Traveler's Chosen. But this build is just crazy good. Abilities come back so quick, and with the Stasis abilities, just because of how strong they are, it's like having a super at all times. You can see in this clip that I start with very little grenade energy, but I get a melee hit or kill, which procs the Empower buff. I then get a kill with the Traveler's Chosen, which gets me the Gathering Light ×3. I see the radars lit up like a Christmas tree, so I consume the Gathering Light buff, get my grenade back, which I then use to freeze someone, slide in and seal that kill, whereas normally I wouldn't have been able to come away with a kill in that scenario. This build is also great for ensuring you have either a ability or even all of your abilities for every fight. And what some people don't know, and what the Empowered perk doesn't state, is that it also procs in your super, which means that your melee is up constantly when you're in your super. So this is great for being able to use it to close gaps, using it as a movement ability as well as killing your foes when you do catch up with them. Empowered also makes your abilities do more damage, so in this clip I throw my grenade trying to freeze the Warlock super. I unfortunately miss, but proc Empower. With Empowered I melee him, making him one shot because I do extra damage. Then that leaves him for an easy cleanup, which then procs the Empowered ×2, giving me a faster cooldown for my abilities. This build really is just something else, and the fact that it frees up some space for either a different exotic armour piece or even a weapon makes it so you can still play the way you want to play and you're not locked into a very specific loadout. The Traveler's Chosen sidearm is just ridiculously good, just as a weapon, let alone the synergy it has with this build. So I love it and run it all the time, but I do swap between exotic armour pieces just depending on how I feel. There's some other good options and things I've had a lot of fun with are the Armentarium, having 2 grenades up, Dune Marches or Antaeus Wards, a One-Eyed Mask or even Syntheseps. You really can just use anything. I've been having a lot of fun with this build, and I hope that you guys get to try it out and have a lot of awesome plays with it too. Well, that should do it for the video, guys. Hopefully you've learned something and you are interested in trying out this just crazy build. you've enjoyed the gameplay, a like is very much appreciated. And if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. It really helps the channel out, and it also lets you guys know whenever I upload a new video. I do stream here on YouTube. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, so feel free to come along. We just hang out, have a chill time, and it's always a good laugh. But until next time, friends, take care, stay safe, keep up the grind, and I shall hopefully see you all very soon. Bye bye!